and welcome back to the Shadow of the Apple podcast. My name is Dylan Maltez. This is Ryan Germeyer on my right, and today we are here with episode 24 of the Shadow of the Apple podcast. It is our overnight episode of the Shadow of the Apple podcast. It's very late right now. It is currently 12:16 on the East Coast on a Saturday, technically morning, but really a Friday night. So, Ryan, how we doing today, bro?
Yeah, we're doing good. The Yankees won, the Mets didn't,
They
but
sure didn't.
we'll get into all of that. Some other news, but
So the first thing we low key honestly got to talk about, honestly, now that I think about it, is that we need to talk about how the Yankees fucked my parlay.
yeah, that did happen the other day.
Yes. So yours truly on the podcast made a goated baseball parlay, and every team I had got right except the New York Yankees. I needed them to win one game against. Okay, I have actually. Do I have it right here? Let me see. Hold up. Trying to find it. But the Yankees sold my parlay. Long story short, it was I want to say it was like a 6-leg parlay, and the Yankees were all they had to do was win against the Pirates, and it's crazy because they won the other game. So if I had just removed them or picked their other game, I would have won like $700.
Yeah, you had game one of the doubleheader on
Yeah.
Wednesday.
And like my thought process is like Garrett Cole's pitching, right? I'm looking at the pitchers. The first thing I always look at is the pitchers. So, like the first thing I'm thinking of is like Garrett Cole's pitching, right? He's not pitching. He's not having the best year, but he's still their. He's considered their ace, even though he's technically not their best pitcher right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not technically, he isn't their best pitcher right now. So, they, I was just thinking like it just logically makes sense. Like their lineup may not be as good, but they're gonna definitely rely on Cole to have a good game. And he definitely didn't have a bad game per se, but the Yankees offense didn't do them any favors.
Yeah, that game was more so on the Yankees offense, but I can talk about that now, or we can wait till
Yeah,
we get
I
to the
might as well
Yankees.
talk about it here. We
Yeah,
got
because
our
we're
one viewer,
already
so
we're
I appreciate the one viewer here on 12:19 a.m. Whoever you
let's
are,
go.
yes sir.
Um, yeah, so that was game one of the doubleheader on Wednesday. Game two, it was originally supposed to be Tuesday night, rained out. So yeah, Garrett Cole did start. He went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, 11 strikeouts, 0 walks. Not an awful start, but it wasn't enough for the Yankees or for Dylan's parlay. He was perfect through 4 2/3.
Literally every single game I had gotten right, bro. I need to actually look at let me look at the my history actually, because I had a goaded parlay, and you know what low key annoys me more? If Why did it have to be that game to be wrong? Because let's just say another game later in the day was wrong, I still could have probably cashed out.
Yeah, that was like a 12:30, 1:30 start because it was doubleheader
Yes.
on a
Yep.
Wednesday. So yeah. So
Yeah,
Cole was
so
perfect through 4 2/3 until the top of the fifth. Jacob Gonzalez hit a 2 run shot into the short porch. Top of the seventh, Nick Gonzalez hit a solo home run. So the Pirates are up 3-0. Yankees had multiple chances to score, and they just did not take advantage. They haven't taken advantage for a long time. We've talked about that. It's definitely one of their biggest weaknesses is the lineup, specifically the back end of the lineup. But even the best hitters in the front of the lineup without Judge, without Stanton, they're really just not producing much. A lot of their wins are just barely enough. Um, but yeah, bottom of the seventh inning, followed by a Ryan McMahon double, and Austin Wells walk, and Rice did hit a 3 run home run, tied it. So the top of the order and the bottom of the order did come through, but
yeah,
the game
just
went
like
to
I didn't come
extras.
through with my parlay.
Yeah, that so you yourself said Ben Rice, best number 22 in New York when that happened. I don't know
What?
if you still stand. I don't know if you still stand by
What?
that, but that
When
wasn't
did I
that was a
say
text
that?
that I got.
That's
Yeah,
a
no, that
crazy
was definitely
text,
something I
bro.
got.
That's like when I'm betting, bro. That's like it's like you ever watch Spider Man? Like you ever like when the Green Goblin, like when he looks at his mask.
Yeah,
Like it's a different like a version of me, bro. Like it's not me.
Yeah.
Like so
Well, after
like
the
that wasn't me. So that wasn't me, by the way, guys. Like I never to all the Met fans that do support the podcast, I would never say that. Uh, Juan Soto is obviously the best 22 in New York City. They were both All Stars this year, but Juan Soto, you know, there will always be 122 in New York City, and that 22 belongs in Queens. But continue, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is pretty crazy that there's two 22s in New York, and they're both right now the best hitters on
Yeah,
their teams. But
and they're both lefties.
yeah, that is true. Some would say they're both Dominican too. But
They are.
anyway, that game went to extra innings. Top of the 10th, Fernando Cruz gave up 2 runs. Jerry Trill RBI single. Jake Mangum RBI single. So that was 5-3. Pirates went up. Uh, the Yankees couldn't score after that. They went down sad in the 10th, bottom of the 10th.
They sure
Bellinger
did,
struck
bro.
out. Dominguez popped out.
And
Jazz
Jazz
popped
popped
out.
out like a little girl. Yep.
Quick shout out to Kervin Castro. He made his Yankees debut after being here in the minors.
Yeah.
He was making some motion to AAA, so he came up. He struck out the 2 hitters that he faced to end the top of the 10th. But of course, the damage was already done. It was nice to see that from him.
Yeah, and the only person I'll truly thank is Ben Rice for giving me hope
Hmm.
because that's the only thing we can hold on to now in these days, in this day and age. So, continue.
Yeah, well, Game 3 of that series was that night on Wednesday. It was a surprise.
Yeah, it was a close game. It was 0-0 until I want to say what the seventh or the
Yeah,
sixth.
7th inning. But what was really surprising about that game was I believe it was Tuesday night after the rainout. No, no beat writer broke it. No big writer for the city broke it. It was the Yankee social media broke it. They just said tomorrow, Garrett Cole game 1, Max Fried game 2. That was pretty cool. It was it's a return of Max Fried. He
Yeah.
hadn't pitched. He hadn't
Yep.
pitched since
Honestly,
May 13th.
if I really thought about it, if I really looked at it logically, I should have picked. I mean, Free coming off an injury. It is a little. It depends, honestly. But Freed was, at the end of the day, technically was the better pick because they ended up winning the game with Freed. He pitched really well. He didn't give up any runs. He did a really good job in his first return back. Max Fried was old reliable before Cam Schlittler was old reliable.
Yeah, last year, you didn't have Cam Schiller most of the year. You didn't have Garrett Cole at all, and Max Fried in his first year as a Yankee was great. And so far this year, and is before the injury, in this one game now, it's been pretty solid. So, yeah, I mean it was cool to see the Yankees have some urgency like that. I would have loved to be. I would love to know like who's the one who said, "Wait, why don't we just do this?" Because Max Fried had one rehab start. They said he was going to start in AAA Wednesday night. Um, but they decided since they were going to do a bullpen game in game 2 anyway, they decided let's just bring Max Fried back, start it too early, have him on his pitch count. It was about I think 50 to 60 pitches, um, and yeah, he was great. Saved the bullpen some innings. He went 5 innings, zero runs, 1 hit, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Like I said, that was his first start off the injured list since May 13th was his last start at Baltimore. But bottom of the 7th inning, Jason Dominguez came through with an RBI double, followed right up by an Anthony Volpe RBI single. So the Yankees walked away with a 2-0 lead, ended up winning the game 2-0. Following Fried, it was Shavihi went an
I
inning.
should have swept them, bro.
Paul Blackburn went 2 innings. Will Warren came out of the bullpen, so that could be, a sight of what's to come down the line when we're more healthy and people start moving around. He pitched 2/3, and Tim Hill came out to get the last out. So the Yankees took the series. The one game they lost was the one game you really wanted them to win, but we'll on our side we'll take that. So
Yeah. I guess you guys will take 2 out of 3. You know.
luckily we didn't have to face Paul Skeens.
No, he actually pitches tomorrow, which we were discussing a lot about today earlier about whether it would what would in this situation would you go against Paul Skeens or for Paul Skeens in a game against the Cubs? So like I I don't know, because it's really up and down with him, and not in the sense of him per se, but how the games go. Because he's like Jacob DeGrom in the sense of like he will have a great game, give up like 2 runs, 6 innings, 6 Ks, and the bullpen will come in and give up like 5 runs right afterwards. So
Yeah, the
like,
team surrounding him isn't the best, but they also actually I can't even say that because they haven't
no,
been the best the last few years. This
they're
year,
not.
I
They
don't
were
know
a
if
wild card
it's
team like a few years
yeah, I
ago.
don't know if it's still true, but they were a wild card team. They had the third wild card in the National League coming into that series against the Yankees. Let me check real quick what they're at right now. So right now they're 2 games back of wild card spot, so they're still very much in it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's fire. Yeah, man. Like I think I think it would be great if the Pirates do make the playoffs. Actually, because they honestly aren't that good of a team. But the MLB is so weak this year. I don't know what it is
mhm.
this year, but the MLB is just so weak this year, and it'd be cool to see Paul Skeens in the playoffs. Watch him pitch a
Yeah,
game
that'd
one.
be really cool.
Yeah, see him make his playoff debut, and I know he would pitch well.
I mean, if the Pirates end up with the third wild cards, even if they have to face the third division winner in that series, I mean, they have to be the favorites in Game 1 with Skeens on the mound, and then games 2 and 3, you have to see how it lines up, who they're facing. But yeah, that could be really interesting. Same thing with the Tigers the last few years. Just having Skubal is it's the closest as you can be to an automatic win in the playoffs. Having a starting pitcher who can go deep and give your offense more than a chance to win.
It's crazy when you can say that when you consider the fact that Swooble, the 2 games he pitched in the ALDS were both L's.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes, don't
Yeah,
forget.
his
He,
pitching
but he
wasn't the
did
best
pitch.
last
He
year,
did
but
pitch well in those games. Both those games he did pitch well.
yeah.
It wasn't his fault. The teams, both those games weren't his fault. I think both teams just played really really well, and one team just kind of played better than the other. That
Yeah, and
because that series. I mean, if only we started this podcast last year, because the MLB playoffs were amazing last year.
yeah. Yeah,
But
there's a few game sevens, a lot of series
yeah,
went as
almost
far as they could.
every playoff round went the farthest it could. So, which is pretty cool. There was 3 game threes, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
playoffs were really good. But anyways, we got to get back on topic.
Yeah, so not much more to talk about the Yankees and the Pirates, other than the fact that Dennis Santana got DFA'd by the Pirates after that series, which is it's not funny. It's never funny when someone loses their job, but it's just interesting that we talked about him starting issues with Jose Caballero during Game 1, and now he's gone. And what's interesting, I saw someone point out he when he was DFA'd by the Pirates today, or I guess I forget when it was, he was replaced by Ron Marinaccio on their active roster. In 2024, the Yankees also DFA'd Dennis Santana and also replaced him with Ron Marinaccio. So this guy was replaced by the same player
Same
2 times.
person.
Yeah, on 2
That's a
different
crazy
teams.
stat.
That's like a
Where'd you get
crazy.
that?
I saw it online somewhere. Someone had brought it up. It was like I saw it as a screenshot on Instagram. But yeah, I mean it's interesting that happens. Um, I remember Dennis Santana on the Yankees. He wasn't the best with us. He had a solid year last year with the Pirates, I believe, but he also tried to fight a fan. So
I kind of remember that.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in the bullpen. They were having some sort of disagreement back and forth. I don't know the backstory, but essentially in the video, you see him like jump up and try and swing at the fan over the bullpen wall.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Well, we talked about Game 1 of that Pirate series in the last episode, but I'll just quickly recap it. Ryan Weathers didn't have his best start. He gave up 5 earned runs. but led by Jazz Chisholm hitting 2 different home runs in that game. The Yankees did win 8-5, so that's how they took the series. But tonight they played against the Phillies, game 1 of the series at Philadelphia. An interesting road trip starting for the Yankees because they got to face the Phillies on the road, and they go to Chicago. They face both the White Sox and the Cubs, so some pretty decent teams they're going to be playing. But tonight, the Yankees did win 1-0 against the Phillies. Cam Schlittler
Yes.
dominated again.
I predicted them to win today, and I got it right.
Yeah, I mean it was close. It was scary, but
Yo, that was a pretty. I mean, it kind of makes me feel better that one also didn't do. That one actually makes me feel better that it didn't like hit and it because that I got I think the A's won and there was another game I got wrong. The Astros came back and won, so it makes me feel better that unfortunately, so the Yankees were they were about to win, but the Cubs and the Pirates, it was 1-1, top of the 10th, and I low-key panicked because I saw it and I was like, and yeah, I saw it and I was like, oh damn, and then the Rays are already losing, and they were almost about to give up a run, or yeah, they had a runner on second, so I was like, I panicked, and then next thing you knew, boom, Braves tied it, Yankees won, and Cubs won. So if I waited maybe 5 minutes, I would have had maybe an extra $50-$100. So that's my betting tip. Just really pay attention to the feel of the game.
Yeah. Definitely not. It's not legal advice. No one listening take that to heart. Just do what you want with it. But
that's advice if you want to bet.
Yeah, that's totally your choice. It's not.
Well,
at all.
actually, sorry. Betting is not the right word because this is not betting. This is Kalshi. So this is trading.
Okay. Trading, right?
This is ethnic trading, where we trade predictions from person to person.
Right.
So if you want to trade sports, you want to trade players, you want to trade player bets, that's just my recommendation on the flow of baseball bets.
Yeah, well, the game you did get right. One of the games. I can't say the game. That
which was the Yankees.
It seemed like they're terrible.
So I kind of had a feeling the Phillies low key have been playing bad. I've been picking the better. They have played some good teams. They are considered the two teams to make the World Series. So, but
they just faced the Dodgers too.
Yeah, so but I kind of took it because I had the Brewers over the Rockies, but clearly the Rockies won today. So I was like, I replaced it with the Yankees winning. So I actually didn't even know Schlittler was pitching today. I thought Will was pitching today, but I was like,
yeah, Will Warren was the probable, and then they changed it, I guess, because he came in relief. The doubleheaders really messed up their order, but
yeah. So I was like, I didn't realize Schlittler was pitching today, but I mean, obviously he pitched well enough to get the win.
Yeah, he pitched 7 1/3, 0 runs, 3 hits, 12 strikeouts, 0 walks.
Wow,
it's a beautiful line.
Wow, sexy line from Cam Schlittler
against another good offense. They haven't been playing the best recently, but still
solid
Bryce
offense. Harper, Nick Castellanos.
Nick Castellanos is not a Philly anymore. Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner. I don't even think Castellanos is on a team right now, actually.
I know he's not. Just fuck with you.
Anyway, yeah. So,
I think he's not even on the Padres no more.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they DFA'd him at some point. But the one run scored this game was a Paul Goldschmidt home run. That was the 16th of the year. Put the Yankees up 1-0. Didn't look back. Both teams had a few innings where they had chances to score. They both had an inning with the bases loaded. The Yankees didn't get the job done earlier. Phillies had it in the 8th inning. They couldn't get the job done either. Trey Turner lined out. Kyle Schwarber popped out. that was Brent Hedrick who came in to get those 2 outs. And that was his 13th hold of the year. Bednar finished it with his 19th save of the year. So those 3 pitchers for the Yankees have been, phenomenal. Cam Schlittler, 2.07 ERA, 0.93 whip. Hedrick, 1.38 ERA, 1.08 whip. Bednar, 2.47 ERA, and also a 1.08 whip. So, that's definitely some nice pitching.
I can bet you that the moment I would put a bet on Cam Schlittler, he would have his first bad game ever. So, has he ever had a bad game?
Yeah, he's had a few.
I feel like I have never seen him pitch bad recently.
Yeah, he had some of his first few starts were a little questionable. Nothing crazy though, but he did have a start against the Tigers last month where he gave up, I think, 6 earned runs through 4 innings. So he gave a few home runs. But for the most part, he's had some great starts throughout his career so far. And he's definitely the front runner for the American League Cy Young as of now. So for the Yankees, they're currently at 58-45, 2 games back of the American League East. So pass over to the Mets now.
I'm over with you. I don't really got a lot to say about the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what has happened recently. They lost to the Brewers. Well, they won. The big thing about the win was that Lindor played well. Alvarez played well. They pitched against Zach Thornton. Zach Thornton, his first win as a New York pitcher, in a professional league, Major League Baseball pitcher. They went against their former prospect Brandon Sproat, and they hit pretty well against them. They got the job done. They got the win. They played a really tight game. Simeon had a home run game 3, but it just wasn't enough. Mets are unfortunately even in the when the season is dead and done, I do still see some signs of them being decent, but there's just too many holes with this team right now. It's unfortunate. It is what it is, but they lose the series, and then today you play the Los Angeles Dodgers. They didn't even actually play too bad. Honestly, Shamanaya actually kept them in the game for a while against Roki Sasaki until the bullpen came in and they gave it up. So, I think that's improvement. I think that's a good sign. I think that's good that Shamanaya is pitching well. But yeah, just keep it short with the Mets. I think we got to keep these recaps short with the Mets at this point for the rest of the year, especially when we get to when they aren't even playing good teams. Yeah. But what I will talk about to you is I will still talk to you about the Mets. And I will still talk to you about Mets stories. So the biggest story out of this is the rumor that Francisco Alvarez is linked to be traded away to the Mets. And, he's actually one of the few targets that really haven't really even been mentioned until recently. So I'll ask you, Ryan, what do you think of this? Because if you want my opinion, I think this is ridiculous. I think he would be a complete idiotic, abysmal idiot for doing something like this.
Yeah, 100%. We had this conversation in the last episode, and we both agreed that it's not smart unless you're blown away by an offer. Blown away. It's just not worth it. He's one of your bright spots for the future, few years to come. We discussed how hard it is to find a catcher these days who can hit
and catch
without awful defense, or a catcher who has great defense and can't hit at all.
Typically, one specializes in the other every time.
Yeah, he's right in the middle basically. So yeah, you'd have to find an offer that blows you away. Hopefully, his health can improve. Obviously, in the future, you'd like him on the field more, but yeah, he's definitely one of the better players the Mets have. So
I think the Mets should blow it up and trade everyone for big name prospects. Luke, I think a thing about okay. I think there's guys that no doubt should get traded. I think there's guys that you definitely think that like Clay. I think Clay Holmes, guys who are expiring contracts, people that are literally about their contract. This is their contract year, or their going to be contract is done in a year or so. Like a guy like Clay Holmes, who still has another year left on his deal. I think Freddie Peralta is gone. Um, I think potentially Bo Bichette. I think Tyrone Taylor is a trade option. Um, I think there's gonna be people, but I don't think there's. I think there's some core guys you're gonna keep. So I mean, obviously there's. I think there were four. I think there was four players that we talked about before that were gonna stay, without a doubt. That there's no. Well, I think Lindor and Soto are up there. They're not gonna get traded. And Plain is not gonna get traded, and Christian Scott is not gonna get traded. So if we look at we could look at the Mets lineup. I mean, or look at the rotation. Could you potentially trade Shamanaya and then bring up a prospect like Jonah Tong and maybe take his spot, or some other pitcher? I do think a big, I do think a big chunk of this team will get traded. I don't think big names that are left on this Mets team will get traded though, and I think if there's honestly anybody I could see getting traded at this rate, it's Mark Vientos. Mark Vientos has lost so much value. He is just not even close to the 2024 player he was. It's been so long since we've seen him. I was so close to getting his jersey. I'm glad I didn't. But Mark Vientos has fallen off a cliff, and I think you could potentially put him in some kind of package for something. You could maybe get rid of him for like literally anything. I think. I really hate to say it because I really do still like Mark Vientos. I still think there's something there, but I don't think it's working out with us for the long term. I think things haven't like consistently clicked yet. You know, we've seen sparks of it of what he had for all of 2024. The downfall of the Mets was trading Nimmo and Alonso. Yeah, oh my god, I absolutely agree. I talk a lot on this live stream about how much I hate David Stearns, and I don't hide it, you know. But trading Nimmo, man, for Marcus Semien for that huge contract that was getting paid annually like that, you know, it's just disgusting. And they potentially might trade him too. So I think there is a huge issue. I think Nimmo, you could maybe bite the bullet with it, but Alonso, I mean, who plays first base for us? Could you tell us, Ryan?
It was Polanco to start the year. I honestly could not tell you who's been playing recently.
Jared Young.
Mm.
So he's been playing first base most of the time now because somebody that we just talked about literally can't play the position or is struggling to play the position. I'm not going to say he can't play it. He's struggling at times. Say what you want about Alonso, but defensively, maybe he couldn't throw the ball. It was a little, maybe when he threw the ball, it went on the other side of the cage, but he could catch it pretty well. He could field pretty well for a big man himself. And he could hit the ball pretty well. And you know what? The thing about Pete Alonso? He was there. Jorge Polanco is not there. He gets paid more than LeBron James.
I couldn't believe that when you showed me that. That was insane.
I mean, it just shows how idiotic David Stearns is as a manager. He's just the stupidest boy genius you'll ever see in the MLB. Just disgusting moves, Ryan. Just disgusting moves. Like I can't believe he's my GM right now. I really hope one day they will fire him.
We've had that conversation a lot. He makes a lot of moves.
Sorry, Mark. Okay, the Mets should go sign Marcus Stroman. He will save your pitching staff. Yeah, I totally agree, Ryan. Don't you agree with that statement?
Oh, 100%. I honestly can't believe the Yankees managed to lose him last season. I mean, he was our ace, to be honest. Like, our real ace, Garrett Cole, got hurt, and no one worried because we had Marcus Stroman on the roster, and then he wasn't even there when we got to the postseason. That's probably why we were bounced.
Yeah, that's literally the reason why you guys didn't beat the Blue Jays in Game 4, because who was gonna pitch Game 4? Marcus Stroman, but you guys got rid of him.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know what. I have
His
no
aura
clue
was
what
just too
Cashman was
powerful,
thinking.
and he just couldn't pitch for the team anymore.
Yeah. I want to go back to what you were saying earlier about the untouchables. I would say not even untouchables. More so just people you're not looking to trade away. I would add Benj and Ewing to that list. I feel like they've shown enough in the minor leagues, especially. Um, I mean, they've shown some on the major league roster. The numbers on the year don't really show it, but I mean, these are guys you got to give more of a chance to. So again, unless team really wants one of them for whatever reason and blows you
Oh,
away,
how could I forget about the relievers? I completely forgot about the relievers. Oh, someone that's definitely getting traded is Luke Weaver.
yeah, I think he does have another year on the contract, but there's so much talk surrounding him. I can't imagine he's not traded.
Yeah,
Um,
Luke Weaver has so much value right now. He could be I mean, you've seen him with pitchers where relievers where they are hot and they go to a new team, and I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, I don't even want to say his name, but we Ryan Helsley, we brought him
mhm.
last year. He was really good for the Cardinals all first half. They trade him, and he ends up being literally one of the most disgusting pitchers you'll ever see for the Mets. So I'll take him back. I mean, yeah, I think if you're a Yankee fan right now, you would definitely take Luke Weaver back. He's a very solid reliever who could pitch the seventh, eighth inning. And he already has played for the Yankees before, so he knows what it's like to
Mhm.
wear the pinstripes. I think he could
Yeah, that's
be very
definitely
attractive.
a conversation to be had between the two teams. Um, Devin Williams, I'm not sure what his contract is
Yeah,
like. Not sure if a
Davis is
team on the
on.
verge.
He's on a 3-year deal. I want to say.
Yeah,
So I
yeah, I know his deal is a bit longer.
yeah, because giving Devin Williams a 3-year deal is smart, right? So.
Hey, it worked in Milwaukee, so
God, I hate him.
let's ignore what happened in New York last year. Surely it's going to work across town in New York.
God, maybe he'll go to Philly next and just complete the triangle. Or sorry, not the
Crazy.
triangle, a big one line. I don't know, bro. It's 12:49 in the morning. So, but Brooks Raley is another guy they could trade. He's very consistent. He's always been consistent. He's been on the Mets since 2023 now, which is crazy. But he on the older side, but a lefty, has some pretty solid stuff. I think David Stearns. Sorry. Oh my god, I dead ass hate this guy so much that I keep bringing his name up. Um, Brooks Raley, I think will be a very good trade aspect. I think he'll be very underrated. I think he'll be kind of on the down low. I don't think a lot of teams will really be like actively looking out for him. But
Hmm.
one of the best 7 inning guys I've seen in recent years.
Yeah, what about Brazabon? Probably didn't pronounce his name right, but I know how it's spelled.
Huascar Brazabon.
Yeah, Brazabon. Yeah, I definitely didn't want to attempt the first name.
I'm not sure what kind of contract he has, but I think most of these relievers are going to be on the market. I think
Yeah,
relievers
I'm
are
pretty
really
sure I saw somewhere that he's either on a 1 year deal or he's expiring this end of the season.
yeah,
So he's definitely
and
someone you can get
the,
something
the
out of maybe.
the bullpen is actually, I would say, especially early in the year, was one of the Mets' strong suit.
Yeah, so I mean, I think anyone on the Mets, to be honest, who has a contract expiring at the end of this year, even next year, is going to be more than available. Um,
I think someone that I really hope they would keep and not consider trading is Luis Robert.
right, he's another person who his contract expires at the end of the season. So
Yeah, he is a great target for anytime home run right now. He is just Unfortunately, he's not even on the trading apps. He's not on right now, but he is a just absolute beast right now, just hitting monster shots. How many more years on So's contract? Isn't it every 3 years he can opt out if he wants? I think next year will be year 3. So after I believe the 4th year, he could opt out, and he could try to opt out. But so I think I think that's someone that you really keep. I think the biggest guy you really should keep is Francisco Alvarez. I think the bullpen is definitely up for sale. I think I think a good decent part of the starting pitching probably just let the young guys pitch. You know, I think you trade Holmes. Manaya has a really crappy contract, so you probably won't trade him away because no one probably would want to trade for him and pay that contract, or at least pay, maybe not even pay part of it. Um, you trade Peralta, easy trade, easy to sell of my life. That guy
Oh
sucks.
yeah,
So
yeah, he's a free agent after this season, right? So
I can't believe we gave up Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams for him, dude. Like what a awful trade.
yeah, so he'll definitely be someone who's dealt. There's a lot of teams who are like on the verge of a playoff spot, especially in the American League, who would love cheap contracts to try and not even cheap contracts, cheap
Yeah,
trades
especially
on
in
players who, even if they're a slight upgrade, they'll just take anything they can get that doesn't hurt their future to try and win. I don't think there's a chance the Mets can really get any big name prospects, to be honest, because I don't think they really have anyone who can get them that. Even if they do, it's not for a long time.
yeah, it's not like the last time we were sellers where we had a Max Scherzer, we had a Justin Verlander that we can just like throw off and be like, hey guys, you want 37-year-old Max Scherzer? Oh yeah, sure. You'll have Ronald Acuña's brother. Okay, cool, deal. I
Hmm.
couldn't even tell you what we got from Justin Verlander, honestly, anymore. Like it's been 3 years and I haven't heard anything from that trade.
Yeah, there's some trades that are win-wins on both sides. Some trades are also losses on both sides. So,
I wouldn't even say
you know,
the Verlander trade was a loss for the Astros. I think it just was like he wasn't bad actually when he first came back, but the year afterwards he wasn't good. He was good when they first traded for him because he was having actually a good year with the Mets, all things considered. So, but you know, obviously the Mets weren't good. But um, so you know, I think the biggest guys, uh, and I just to recap it, I think the you're going to see a big difference in the pitching staff. I think um, from some of the starting pitchers, and I think a big part of the bullpen will be very different. I don't think the lineup will change because I think most of the lineup is basically just the prospects and your guys that your some of your core guys that you have. Like I think at this point your core guys are like your Soto, your Lindor, you have Alvarez, and you have Beatty. I think the only guy you really consider is the only one that's really being considered trade right now is Alvarez. But like we said, I don't want him traded. I don't want even near traded. Nothing, bro. Nothing. Don't don't trade up a generation. Not maybe not a generational catcher, but catchers. Good catchers don't come off. And I mean, when was the last time we had a good catcher? I mean, Travis Darnell was not that good. He was. I think Francisco Alvarez will be better than him when it's all said and done for sure. Like our catchers, like since Piazza, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, Piazza's obviously, I mean, he's Mike Piazza, but he's probably Francisco Alvarez has the potential to go down as the best catcher that we've had since him.
yeah, it's not
The
crazy
second
to
best
say.
catcher, and but potentially.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, we both said he's not shouldn't be on the table, but with David Stearns, you never know, to be honest. But yeah, there's a lot of names they can work with, try and get whatever back. You never know. Anybody, any prospect you get can become somebody. You know, can help them down the line. So I guess we'll have to see. We can maybe try and figure out some way to put some proposals together, or not even proposals, but like targets, kind of where we think players could land. Um, Try and do the opposite with the Yankees. Try and see what players the Yankees can go after. I mean, there's a bunch of names circling around them, so there's a lot to
Something
do, a lot to
some
talk about.
something I want to add to Emma Stone was at the Mets game today, and she looked pretty miserable. And I mean, it makes sense because she was at a Mets game, but she was at this Mets game because they were performing a movie. She was filming a movie at Citi Field, and the movie is a horror movie. So
How fitting.
how fitting that the 2026 New York Mets are going to be in a horror movie, because this season has basically been a horror movie. Ryan, do you think this is in Lowell Mets territory?
Oh man, there's so many things out there. We had a whole video about it. I mean, honestly, I don't think I can say yes. I mean, honorable mention maybe, but there's just so much.
Yeah, I think it's an honorable mention because it's not anything the Mets have done, kind of
That's
in
true
their
too. Yeah.
own right. Like a lot of, I think the best, the top Lowell Mets moments come from the organization itself.
Hmm.
This was kind of just like ironic, it just was like I guess a coincidence that the Mets just decided to be so bad that Emma Stone really doesn't really have to act,
Yeah.
because I mean the Mets will put a frown on your face for sure. So, and if you want to look at the page in the picture, it's there. So, but yeah, like it's how ironic, how ironic.
Yeah. Well. Um. Yeah. I mean, there's really not much to say. We've said everything we can about this Met season so far. So
Yeah, it's been
we
rough.
just.
It's Let me ask you this, Ryan, as an outsider, where would you
Mhm.
rate this Mets season on a shitty scale from 1 to 10?
Man.
10 being just is the worst Mets season ever, and like one.
The Mets have had some really bad seasons. Um. I'm gonna try and go off more recently. I feel like the Mets have had different like eras, kind of. So I mean, it's pretty bad. I'm trying to think if it's worse than last year because the difference between this year and last year is last year they started off great, had a playoff spot, and then they just crumbled and collapsed
Yeah,
and
man.
completely lost it.
Yep, yep, yep.
This year,
Remember?
this year they added more at during the off season, whether you thought that they would be great for the team or not. After the 2024 season, all they really added significantly was Soto. But I think going from the playoffs, that magical run of 2024, and then signing Juan Soto, and then collapsing like that, I think honestly is probably worse than this season. So I can't give this one like a 9 or a 10. I have to give like an 8.
Yeah, this is definitely belongs as a 8. I couldn't agree more. This is a strong 8. I think this I think this season is worse because of last year. Because the way last year ended, and then transitioning into this year and then a lockout year, it's like
Mm-hmm.
just like the insult to injury, bro. Like it's a special kind of pain. Like and last year, the that collapse was, I mean, it was incredible. Just an incredible, not beautiful, but just it was astonishing to see. Astonishing, you know.
Yeah, worst case scenario, if we don't have baseball next year, it's gonna suck for everybody, but it's gonna suck really bad for Mets fans
And it's gonna suck.
after this season. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being the team that loses the World Series this year.
Mm.
That would
Yeah,
look
it's gonna
so
feel
more.
like yeah, I mean I don't even know if that could feel worse than the Blue Jays last year though, to be honest. That was
You know,
brutal.
I
Being
think,
inches away.
dude, if the Mets ever lost a World Series like that, low key, let alone an NLCS or anything like that, I think I would low key stop watching baseball for like a year.
Well, good thing a lot of the Blue Jays fans have stopped watching baseball since then because half of the fans during
Were
that October
LARPers.
run
They
were
were
not
LARPers.
fans
They
in
were
April. So
LARPing. They were LARPing. It's okay. What's the whole lockdown situation? I think Ryan actually knows more about that.
Yeah, so the Players Association and the owners of Major League Baseball, owners of the teams, they have to have an agreement once in a while. I believe it's called the collective bargaining agreement, and it basically just kind of makes things fair. Sets different rules for the league, different rules of the way payroll works, the way signings work, whether it's drafts, signing free agents, um, signing international free agents, the way just all those kind of things work. So they had one in 2022. They couldn't get a deal done. That's why the season was delayed that year, about like a month, I believe. They finally agreed on something, but it wasn't like a full new agreement. So we're kind of back to square one. Um, and it's the biggest issue this time is the owners really want a salary cap. The players really do not want a salary cap. Owners want it because they think it'll be more fair for the teams that don't spend a lot. I completely disagree with that. The players don't want a salary cap because that means they'll make less money themselves. But it just
Mm-hmm.
it just does
So
not seem like an agreement is really progressing. Hopefully we have one by the spring and we get spring training. Hopefully we have an opening day, but we'll see where it goes.
yeah, the fact that the season is, we're already at the second half and there's been nothing, is not good. Um, I saw Luke just asked if there's a chance that a salary cap comes into play. I think Ryan kind of talked about that. As
Yeah,
long as
that's what the
as long as
owners
the guys
want
agree.
really bad. But the thing is, the players, what I keep seeing being quoted is this generation of players don't want to be the ones to finally give in and say, okay, we'll have a salary cap because all the generations of players in the past have fought so hard to not have a salary cap. I just do not see that happening. I think they have to just find something else to try and agree on and meet in the middle. But that's kind of what they do with the salary floor. Well, that's what they're trying to do with the salary floor. It's what the players are arguing back with. But the they also added I don't know what it's called. Oh, the luxury tax. Luxury tax. That was also kind of meet in the middle of the past. So it's rough.
Yeah, I think if you want my opinion, I think the best way to deal with this. I mean, there's obviously I'm not a negotiator,
Mhm.
but or a businessman, but I think you got to meet at the middle and get a floor and a cap. If you really want to cap that badly, then you should be okay with having a floor because if you want, that means because this a lot of this complaining is coming from the cheap owners that don't want to spend.
Right.
So if we're gonna be like that, then we're gonna make you spend. We're gonna make you spend money to an extent on your team because you are literally just not spending money on your team. Like you're not doing anything to have your team compete. It sucks seeing teams like at the Athletics do what they do with their team and their fan base. So and literally not spending money so they can move, and then right afterwards signing the most expensive A's contract. So it's like it's just stuff like that. So I think that Luke says I want a salary cap because it makes it super teams like the Dodgers can't form. So it had to be homegrown like the Thunder and the Spurs for the NBA.
I mean, it's easy for us to say as Mets and Yankees fans how we don't want a salary cap because our teams are always. I mean, the Yankees always. The Mets recently are always at the top of payroll. So a salary cap, if
Yeah,
anything, would hurt our teams a little bit. But
only
you
that
know,
though.
it's if you look at it, all of these owners are billionaires. They're all billionaires. Some of them choose to spend a fraction of what the top team spent. That's their choice. Their fans should be insulted. Their fans should want their teams to spend more, which they do, of course. Teams like the Rockies, the Pirates, the Marlins, they have fan bases. They have people who still come to the games no matter how bad they are. They give them money. They make profit every year. I mean, these teams, these fan bases deserve these owners to spend more, but they choose not to. Instead, they want to go to these meetings and complain to have they want an excuse to pay less money. So it's easy for us to say we're just the fans of teams with high payrolls. But I mean, you talk about the Dodgers super team. The Mets and the Yankees payroll are so similar to the Dodgers.
And we
When it comes
suck.
to this season, I mean, it's just how smart you are with the money you spend. To be honest, that's why teams like the Pirates with such a low payroll, they're in a position to possibly be in the playoffs. The Rays every single year are fighting for a playoff spot. It's just how
Pretty
smart
much.
you are. A lot of it depends on your general manager. So, yeah, I mean,
Hey
super
man,
team
you
like
ever
the
watch
Dodgers
Moneyball?
isn't. a super team like the Dodgers isn't even because they spend so much money. They do give out these crazy contracts with crazy deferrals. Those are things that can also be talked about in a different conversation. But in general, their payroll is not that much different from the Yankees and the Mets. So
Yeah,
it's just they chose to spend their money smarter.
it's crazy how bad we are considering the amount of money you spend on a team. Like you would think like spends, but honestly, the after I started sports betting, maybe it doesn't equal that.
Yeah, there's one thing that I feel like a lot of Mets fans, um, there's different kinds of Mets fans. There's Mets fans who love to talk about the Yankees constantly. There's also Yankees fans talk about the Mets constantly. I'm not throwing shots. I'm just saying
Yeah, it goes both ways.
A lot of Mets fans who choose to constantly complain about the Yankees, especially older fans, have failed to recognize and acknowledge the fact that the Mets are spending so much money and they have not won. People wanted to talk for years about the Yankees buying championships, but we're at the point now where the Mets are trying to buy championships and they just can't do it.
Because we
It
suck.
all comes back
And
to how
Chris,
smart you are with your money, how smart you are with your moves. It has nothing to do with how much money you spend.
facts.
That helps, of course. I'm not saying it doesn't, but you still have to be smart.
You got yeah, you gotta spend the right way. You gotta be smart about how you spend. It's like an investment, you know. You're
Mm-hmm.
investing in these players to win for you, you know. You gotta pick the right players.
Yeah, and another thing is when it comes to the cheaper owners, you look at teams like the Tigers with Scooble. They've kind of made it clear they're probably not going to empty the bank for him, but yet they're in a way refusing to trade him because they know he brings in money. They know that every
Wait, so
time he
they're not
starts
gonna
at
trade
home,
him?
well, it doesn't seem like it at this point. They're inching closer to a playoff spot, which of course is another reason why they wouldn't trade him because, like we talked earlier, he can win you games alone in the playoffs. But I mean, they know that every fifth day
Yeah.
he's on the mound at home in Detroit, it's going to be almost sold out, if not sold out. People are going to be there to watch him pitch.
It is insane that these teams, as bad as they have been all year, are not gonna trade away because how bad everyone else is.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Tigers should sell. They're not a good team.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
going to check right now how far they are out, but
I mean they just won again today, but you know how much they would get for Tarek Skubal?
it would be insane. I mean, when I looked at the trade proposals for what the Yankees would possibly be giving away, knowing their farm system, it's insane. Right now, the Tigers are 3.5 games out of a wild card spot, but they have to jump over four teams to get there: the Orioles, the Astros, the Twins, and the Mariners.
Orioles just lost to Atlanta.
Yeah, the American League is so weak. Honestly, whoever goes on a run these next few months has a really good shot of making the playoffs. But once they're in there, that's obviously a whole different breed.
I want Javi Baez. Yes, I'm stuck in 2016. Do you want me to play Trap Queen as well while you watch Javi Baez highlights?
Yeah, Javier Baez. I don't even. He's probably hurt again.
Not
To be
gonna lie,
honest.
I be forgetting he plays for the Tigers all the time.
Yeah, him and Glaber. I mean, that was an interesting
Yeah, he does play for
up the middle for a
Detroit.
little bit. Like Glaber's
Yeah,
hurt again too.
they haven't been good this year. They just haven't been good.
Yeah, injuries have hurt them a little bit as well, but they're also just not the strongest team.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think if you take out April on how bad the Mets were, they've been just like a 500 team afterwards, for the most part. It's crazy how bad they were. They were historically bad to the point that if they aren't historically bad, their season's probably still alive right now.
Yeah, I mean that's what it can do to
I
you.
mean,
Having a really bad stretch.
it was an historic losing streak. I mean, and we were there to cover it. I mean,
Yeah, it was brutal.
I want Manny Machado to eat Evan, though he washed. All right, man. So I think we will call it a wrap. I think I think the last thing we're going to talk about. I think the last thing we will talk about actually is are the Mets like completely out of the playoffs? So not like technically, but like they're 41-61, so like they would
I mean,
like
not by the
literally,
numbers, but
yeah, like by the numbers, no, but like let's just be real, they're basically done.
since May 1st, the Mets are 33-40. So, I mean, that's
They're
7 games
not.
below 500. But, I mean, yeah, that in Major League Baseball the way it is this year, if they would have been 500 in the month of April, they definitely would be at least in the conversation still for not being out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. They were historically bad. So yes. Um, yeah. So um, yeah. So last thing I we were talk about is LeBron James. So LeBron James is signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. News broke out today,
Mhm.
and you know he's gonna be there for 2 years, probably. Probably will be his last team, the end of his career, I would assume.
Yeah, he
Um,
does have a player option for the second year, so there's a chance he
yeah,
chooses to retire after this season. But
yeah, it's interesting. I really wonder if this is his last year or his second year, and his player option will be his last year, or he'll opt out and sign maybe with and finish it off with Cleveland. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with LeBron. What I do know is that MSG tickets for the Sixers games, so they're going to play them twice at home this year, like they do always. Those two games are going to be like insanely expensive. They're
mm,
going to play them also. LeBron will be close, which is LeBron might be washed. He might be washed. He might be, which is why I'm not phased by the move. As a Knicks fan, but I will tell you, I'm very excited because that also means that I will have the chance potentially to see him live. And I do want to see LeBron live, even if it's Sixers LeBron. You know, I mean,
Celtics shot.
I would have been okay with Lakers LeBron, honestly, but Lakers LeBron was expensive, dog. I need Russ to back up Brunson and NY like I need water. I will tell you that. I will tell you this from my heart. We will not win a ring if he's our backup point guard because he is just so cursed. We will be good, but we will not win a ring with Russ. Not because he's bad, because he's cursed. Like James Harden. So what the biggest thing, the biggest topic that I do want to talk about with LeBron is the fact that LeBron James is reportedly just reports that is going to be living in New York though, and then taking his helicopter to Philadelphia, which I think is hilarious because Philly's that trashy of a city, and LeBron doesn't even want to live there.
Yeah, I haven't heard that to be honest. I was gonna ask, like, why would he want to wrap up his career in Philly? I mean, he did, he is from uh, Akron, Cleveland area. Not the best area either, but I mean, why would you want to wrap up your career in Philly? You could do it anywhere.
So I mean, my personal belief is that I think there's a few things. So I personally thought that he was going to be either a Warrior or a Heat. I didn't think he was going to be a Cav again because there's somebody on the Cavs, a certain somebody that I don't think he would play well with. You could figure it out. The the Heat, I kind of thought he was going to be the Heat or the Warriors. Does this change LeBron's legacy now that it's obvious that he is ring chasing? I don't think it changes his legacy. If if he doesn't win, I don't think anything changes. If he does win, it does change his legacy, kind of, because it does matches his rings with Jordan. So then the debate becomes less and less of a debate. Um, but I think his legacy right now is. I do think it's set in stone. I don't think he will win with the Sixers. I don't, because I don't think LeBron is impactful enough at this age. He's 42. That's why I'm not phased. He's 42 years old. I like LeBron. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Oh shit. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm tripping, man. Yo, I'm so sorry. I'm fucking retarded. It's it's 1:16 in the morning, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, Jordan. Why would I think LeBron has 5 rings? I do think it would change though, because it still does become more of a debate though. I think my point still stands. It does still become more. It does become a little less of a debate because I think that's definitely the biggest thing Jordan has over LeBron is the fact that when he got there, he won. When LeBron got there, he has lost many times. He has technically gotten there more than Jordan, but he has also lost more than Jordan in the finals. But like I don't think this will really change anything. Like I think if we could I like it kind of I think if he doesn't win with the Sixers, it will probably be like forgotten about. It'll kind of be like one of those like, oh, remember when LeBron played for the Sixers kind of thing. It will be kind of one of those like those trivia questions in like 20 years time. Like I just I, I'm not phased by it, but I'm happy to see. I'm looking forward to try to see LeBron live because it's LeBron.
Yeah, this could definitely, when it comes to his legacy, it could definitely only, I would say only help it, like you said, if he wins. I
Yeah,
mean,
it would only help because
eh,
it's set in stone. It's set in stone. It's like he's arguably the greatest or the second greatest player of all time.
and he has such a strong fan base, which we know they'll follow him anywhere. So if they win and he didn't contribute much, people will act like he did the most. And if he doesn't win, people will be like, "Oh well, what did you expect? Look how old he is. He's wrapping up his career. He's on a farewell tour."
LeBron could play for a, a, a rec team in Camden, New Jersey, and his fans would follow him there.
For sure. Yeah, they act like they've been diehards since day one.
Shout outs to my good friend Zach Smith, diehard LeBron fan. So I think that will wrap it up. We've been talking for a bit. There was a lot to talk about actually. So um,
Yeah, this may be our longest episode besides when the Knicks won. So that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I guess we could talk more about. We talked about the Mets selling. We could talk about more about the Yankees buying. Um, on our next episode,
Yeah.
and just go from there. We we've kind of gone a little bit off the regular formula we do. Um, but we'll probably have the next episode when this series is over. After the Dodgers series, probably Sunday or Monday. So we'll bring you that when the time comes. Ryan, anything else you'd like to say about all any topics we talked about? Anything you want to bring up?
No, I definitely do want to talk a little bit about the Yankees buying, but we can wait till the next episode for that. So
Yeah,
that's all for this one.
yeah, bro. So Luke, since you're our only viewer, we'll we'll get better with live. I think honestly, we just gotta do to get viewers. We just gotta do it earlier.
Do it more. Yeah, do it earlier at a
Just
normal time
busy,
and do it more often.
just busy, dog. Just very busy, very busy
Uh huh.
person. I've been very busy personally, a lot going on, but we're getting these out there, even if they're midnight episodes. So once again, this is Ryan Grameyer. My name is Dylan. Thank you, and if you're out there, have a good one. Stay safe. If you're going through
Let's go
something,
Yankees.
let's go Mets. But most importantly, if you're going through something, talk to somebody. Even if it's nobody, just talk to somebody. It helps
Mhm.
out a lot. And let's go Mets, because that won't help you. That won't help you.
Yeah, it's that's definitely not going to help. You have to talk someone. Yeah, you'd have to talk to someone just being a Mets fan, to be honest. But it's not a joke. Definitely,
It
just
helps.
if you're going through something, there's definitely always somebody there for you. There's always better days ahead. So
I'm
don't want to make it
speaking.
seem like I'm joking about that.
Yeah, and this might be kind of random to do this at the end of the episode on a random, 1 a.m. episode, but I'm speaking because I have the platform, even if it's the one viewer. I have the platform, and I rather get it out somehow. And this is just something that I'm going through personally. So I hope if you guys are hearing this, if anyone's hearing this, definitely not asking you to go to therapy. I'm not telling you to do this, do that. That I'm not telling nobody to do nothing, but just keeping it in definitely doesn't help. And that's just my opinion.
Yep.
So with that being said, I'll see y'all in a bit. Peace.